You're watching the Alabama Weather Network.
It's Friday, the 17th of October. This is James Spann. Alabama's weather stays warm and dry today, but over the weekend, a chance of some needed rain across the state. Finally, some active weather to talk about, so we'll take a look at the timing and all of the possibilities for the weekend as we go. This is the upper air look this morning. There's a big trough over the western states. We're still underneath a ridge here, but that trough will be providing some dynamic support for a cold front that will be passing through on Sunday morning. Radar composite around the nation, nothing around here, and we are in the low and mid-60s in most spots to start the day. Not as cool as recent mornings. Dew points are creeping up. But again, we go back in the 80s today with a sunny sky. There's the watch warning map around the nation, fairly quiet. There is a marginal risk of severe storms later today and tonight from Oklahoma through parts of Kansas and Missouri. And then tomorrow, a risk of severe storms from northeastern Texas into the Ohio Valley. And you can see we have a level 2 out of 5 risk over Arkansas and some of the adjacent states. And SPC has pulled that marginal risk into Alabama, down to about Gadsden and Columbiana and Linden, areas in dark green on that map. That's a level 1 out of level 5 risk. And a weakening line of storms will likely be coming in here after midnight tomorrow night, early Sunday morning, and we're not really overly concerned about severe storms at this point. We'll go through all the severe weather parameters here in just a second. And then Sunday after 7 a.m., a marginal risk of severe storms well to the north of here, West Virginia, eastern Kentucky, and points north. How much rain will we see? That's the big question. And there we go. This is a look at the expected rain for the next 7 days. And the bulk of this will be around midnight tomorrow night until early Sunday afternoon. And you can see this is suggesting rain amounts could be a little over 1 inch for the Tennessee Valley and northwest Alabama. For the central counties, 1/2 to 1 inch. South Alabama, under 1/2 inch. And again, it's not going to break a drought, but by golly, we'll take it. So in the tropics, we got a couple of X's on the board. One in the North Atlantic, well east-southeast of Cape Cod. That's going to be in colder water, not concerned about that. Here's a look at the 7-day outlook. And the one, of course, of interest to us, it's that wave that'll be coming into the Caribbean. And we've talked about this for days. At this point, the Hurricane Center giving this a 30% chance of becoming either a depression or a storm over the next 7 days. So we'll look at raw output coming off the European ensemble. And you can see that, number one, the ensemble members keep this a relatively weak surface low. Number two, they keep it far, far to the south of the Gulf. They keep this moving in a westerly direction in the general direction of Central America. And you can see there's nothing, not one of the 51 ensemble members shows any low in the Gulf between now and the 27th of October. So we'll certainly keep an eye on that, but it looks like anything that forms there should be relatively weak if it develops at all, and most likely it moves into Central America. So model fans, here we go. European, OZ run, 4 o'clock today. Trough in the west gradually approaching, ridge in place here. The day should be warm and dry with highs in the 80s. So tomorrow, could there be a shower somewhere? Yes. Is a shower likely? No. The bulk of the day dry, get very warm with highs up in the middle 80s in most spots. So this is tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock, coming off the high-resolution HUR. And you'd have to really look carefully to see any showers here. And the main band of storms is still around Little Rock and Shreveport, far, far west of here. Again, that's 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. So this is just after midnight tomorrow night. This is 1 a.m. Sunday. And there's your line of showers and storms pushing into northwest Alabama. So the meaningful chance of rain begins up in the northwestern corner of the state around 11 o'clock tomorrow night. So let's look at the severe weather parameters, and really they're not that impressive. This is the surface-based CAPE, the instability, the buoyancy, the ability of air parcels to rise freely. And there's just not much at all. The better CAPE values near the coast, but the better dynamic support is far, far north of there. This is the storm relative helicity. And again, just not much at all with the weakening dynamic support. This is the significant tornado parameter, nothing meaningful. So not expecting any tornado threat. And again, what's most likely going to happen, we'll see this weakening line of showers and storms coming in here during the pre-dawn hours Sunday. And initially, let's say you're in Florence or the Shoals. Sure, you could see some gusty winds, maybe some small hail, but I would suggest the overall risk of any severe storms with this is quite low. And then by Sunday afternoon, the bulk of the rain is out of here. So that bodes pretty well for the big race at Talladega. Rain is likely Sunday morning. The rain should be over by noon or 1 o'clock. You get the track dry, you run the race. It might be delayed, no doubt about that, but I do think there's a decent chance they get the race in, although maybe a little later than the original schedule. And we should mention for the football games, again, this is 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. Things look dry for Alabama and Auburn, Tuscaloosa and Auburn. The chance of rain is not zero. Understand there could be a little tiny shower somewhere, but again, the meaningful rain comes in after those ball games are over. So next week on Monday, pretty pleasant day, highs in the 70s, lows in the 40s over the northern half of the state. And then Tuesday, a front will be coming through, but it sure looks like that front will be coming through in dry fashion. You just can't get rain out of a dry air mass. And then on Wednesday, a really cool air mass drops in here. The high Wednesday could be in the 60s over the northern third of the state, with lows well down in the 40s by Thursday morning. We could see some 30s for colder pockets over North Alabama. Again, there's Thursday. And a week from today, this is Friday the 24th of October, troughing to the north, a zonal flow here, and evidence a little feature in that zonal flow could bring maybe a shower late Friday afternoon or Friday night of next week. But you can clearly see the bulk of the week should be dry. Let's keep going. This is 10 days out. This is Sunday, October 26th. Trough in the west. We have a ridge in place here, and that looks dry. Rain for the next 15 days. The green line on that map is what you're looking for. And again, the mean is holding at about 1.5 inches between now and the 1st of November. Temperatures coming off the national blend of models, mid-80s today and tomorrow. Then highs go in the 70s for all of next week. And look at those morning lows. See a bunch of 40s showing up there. 44 by Thursday morning, which means we could see some 30s for the colder pockets. That'll be the coolest air mass we have seen so far this season. But the long-range guidance, October 24th through the 30th, still in the orange, meaning temperatures could be a little above average. This is for, again, October 24th through the 30th. Another beautiful sunset across Alabama in the Deep South last night. And was taken from Interstate 20 at the Talladega Super Speedway. NASCAR fans are pouring into the state, and obviously no rain at the track today or tomorrow. And again, the bulk of the rain there should be Sunday morning on Sunday. And a pretty decent chance they'll get the big race in, maybe delayed. Very peaceful scene there from Southwest Florida, around Venice. Just gorgeous. Love that shot. A guy fishing and our buddy Fred there at sunset last night. All right, so today I'm going to be at Woodstock Elementary School, which is in Bibb County. And then this evening, the Friday night rivals game of the week, it is Thompson at Hoover. And that game will be played at the Hoover Met. And that's a big ball game. That'll be on our sister station in the Birmingham market, My 68. I will be live on ABC 3340 from the site at 4, 5, and 6 o'clock this evening. And don't forget, you can catch my forecast every day on great radio stations around the state, including in Birmingham, 104.7 WZZK. Thanks for watching. Have a great Friday, and God bless.